Hi guys, welcome back to BoomX Beauty Beat. If it's your first time here, boy, that was really loud. It was a high squeak. Anyway, Beauty Beat. It's Laura here. It's great to have you. I'm excited to share with you some progression. I'm hoping to get a first glimpse at the product line next week. Crossing my fingers. But in the meantime, I've been working on other things to get ready for all of this, and one of them is lashes, because you know when you're doing a photo shoot without lashes, come on. And I wanted to carry lashes, and so I've been working with a series of labs trying to figure out which lab to go with on, or I should say factory. And I wanted to talk a little bit today about eyelashes and the different structures and how to kind of determine what is suitable for your eye shape, because not all lashes are alike, and I'll explain more. So whether you're going to go with traditional lashes, individual lashes, flared lashes, magnetic lashes, whatever kind you're purchasing, you want to make sure that what you're choosing is going to be the right shape. Now I have in front of me a whole bonanza full of eyelashes. Let me see. I'll get a shot with my phone and I'll post it. One sec. So as you guys can see, it's like lash insanity here on my desk. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a glimpse. Within each of these, there's about, I don't know, 5 or so. So I think we've got well over about 120 pairs here. So different kinds, different structures. Every single one of them is different. So yesterday what I did was I got a bunch of samples to test, and that is surely what I did. So basically I took each and every, I've got them in these little sample packs, and they're numbered, and tried each and every one of, I think there's something like 120 different pairs here, and narrowed it down. Like, these are the lashes that are kind of a no-go. There's 2 packs here of what I'm thinking of carrying. So you really gotta narrow down to what not only looks good on my eye structure, but also what I feel is going to satisfy different types of eyes, different size of eyes, and different varying glamour amounts, because we're not always in the same mood. Sometimes we feel to get more glammed up than others, and I wanted to have in my line a nice variety of something for everybody. That's kind of my goal. So like I said before, I'm in the testing phase right now, and even though, like, for example, a pair like this, these are the shorter versions of what I was sent from the factory. And basically, you know, you could see, if you could see real close, just want to show it to you. There's the different styles of short, and the differences can be very, very subtle. I'll see if I can hold both up at the same time to show you next to each other. Here we go. Whew, I'm not good at this. Let's see if I can get my hand behind it. So you guys can see something very, very subtle, even though it's basically the same length, that there's slight differences in between the lash structure, and that can make a real difference on your eyes. And I had one of my subscribers ask me if I could teach a little bit more on eyelashes, and so that's what we're doing today. And hey to that subscriber, just shouting out to you. Here's your video. So when I'm testing a lash to know if it's a good lash or not, when I peel it off, it needs to stay somewhat intact. Now when you look at this band here, there are options. You can get eyelashes that have a black band and ones that have an invisible band, and a lot of that is personal preference. I have a real issue when the lashes are too heavy. So what I'm searching for currently is a very lightweight lash that doesn't feel pokey on the ends or have a really awkward feeling band. I don't like that at all. We all seem to love like something like this, where it's the Kiss lash, and this is a wonderful lash, and we'll talk more about the different structures shortly. But just when you pull it off, you want to pull it from the outside in or inside out, from one end and across, so that it doesn't fray. And what I'm really loving about this particular eyelash and factory is that their bands are really sturdy, but they're very, very light. And so I may take this on as part of the Boomex brand. We'll see. I might have to tweak a few of the lashes, but so basically what you want to do is you want to wiggle it back and forth a little bit, especially if they haven't put a lot of structure into the band, because it will relax and kind of flatten out. So just wiggling it back and forth to get a little bit of dimension out of it. And for me, when I'm figuring out what I want to wear on a particular day, I don't put any glue on it yet. I just go ahead and pull it off of the case and then fit it to see how it measures. What I'm personally after for the lashes that I want to carry is I want the lash length to be not a requirement to cut them every time. I want them to be, most of them at least, to be a size that's reasonable within a normal eye shape size. And just so that you guys are aware, when you're pulling off lashes on a structure like this, if you've got it facing this way, then basically that is the eye that you're going to put it onto. But when you turn it this way, remember that your eyelash has got to go on the opposite eye to what you pulled off. Otherwise, you'll have your thicker areas in the wrong part of your eye and it'll look all wonkied out. Then for your lash, putting on your lash itself, one hand is always going to be a little stronger than the other. I don't have any glue on this because I'm going to be ripping them off and putting others on. Is just looking down, if you don't have any lash tools, looking down on downwards a little bit and then laying that down either on a fold down method, or you can push it down in the middle and then tuck the two sides under. And just make sure that there's no gap. Oopsie, because you guys know there's no glue on this, right? It's just the band stickiness that it comes with has a little bit of stickiness, but essentially, laying it down, pretend I've got glue on there. And then after that, we can deal with, I'll show you how to, fully put it on one of these. But first I want to talk about structure. So this one here, if you can see, it's really a kind of not intimidating light lash. Oh, this is coming off too much. I'm going to just glue this on to make it easier. Let's just get this done. Okay, so then in order to glue it, I'm just going to take, right now I'm using callus glue, but I am testing glues out as well to find a glue that I really like for the line, and tweaking that glue and making sure that it doesn't get too, I hate when you've got to peel off and you've got clumpers and things like that. Remember, more glue isn't necessarily better, just want enough. You want it to get tacky, so I leave it for, a half a minute or so, and I just get a feel for if it's the right tackiness. And then I'm going to place it down, make sure that the ends are adhering, and if they're not immediately adhering, like this one is not here, it means I maybe need a little bit more glue. So just with the glue, I'm just going to paint a little bit more on. And in all fairness, I kind of was looking for something and it probably dried a little bit too much. I was looking for the little eyelash holder thingy, but I can do it with my fingers too, so it's no big deal. So if you don't have that thingy, it's fine. You can do it with your fingers. And I got a little bit more glue on the inner part. And sometimes you just want to gently hold it there for a second. Give it a chance to dry, but do gentle blinking. Looking down, don't look up yet. Just keep looking down. Looking down really helps it to kind of like give it a chance to cement down and allow that to dry for just a little bit, so you don't have it lifting, but you also want to kind of keep an eye on it for about 5 minutes or so. And if you see anything getting wonky or pulling or doing anything weird, then you can pull off and reapply, or you can also just put a touch of glue right near the lash line, and that should help it. So essentially the structure of both of these are very, very similar in that they're fairly unified around, with the longest bit kind of coming in the middle. This type of lash is just a little bit more fluttery, and this type is a little bit more kind of pokey. But you guys can see just with this lash, it's small enough, short enough that it doesn't look overwhelming or over glamorous. It's something that nobody's going to look at you at during the day and while you're out and say, ooh, what is she doing? It's the middle of the day. You could wear this to work, get away with it, and it just gives a nice natural lift to the eye. And then now we'll add some glamour. So once you've kind of gotten the hang of just doing a really basic lash like this and it's not overwhelming, you could begin like to play a little bit and see what, you know, you can push yourself to do. Like this one, for example, these are really large, right? So let's see what happens. Can I get away with it? So remember, you want to go to the, if you hold it up, you want to go to the lash that is coordinating with that side, and then you're going to lift it off. You can use tweezers if you want to. What I love about these lashes is they don't mangle when you pull them, and that's one thing that I was looking for. And then you remember you have to just do this little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle thing, because it just allows the spine to kind of break down and be more usable. And then you can kind of take a look and sort of measure out and see, could I wear these? And then take a little look-see in the mirror and be like, whoa, those are like too big, too crazy. I don't like the, see on the edge here, how it's weighing down my eye on the very end. And so, you know, like these are probably a no-go for me. It is possible for me to trim these a little bit, and like if I was to take this end off here, and it might look a little better. But again, like I wouldn't do this unless it was for something specific, like a photo shoot or whatever, because for the everyday, these are pretty extreme for my little eyes. So let's take a look at something medium sized for me. Again, I'm going to just grab that one side. Remember to wiggle, wiggle, and bend the edges. And let's take a look at a medium sized lash. These again are kind of like, these are pretty straight across as far as like circular and balanced. They're not heavy on the end. And it kind of gives you more of an open eye feel. Obviously these aren't glued down, but you know, you're getting the gist of how just a little bit more length really adds to the glamour. I want to show you a couple other shapes. So you guys can see here, this one has more of a thick all the way around band, just to compare with this one here. It's just thicker, the hairs are darker, and it gives a different effect. So I'll show that to you on that side. We're just gonna roll that a little bit. And yeah, I'm really enjoying how malleable these are. They're really workable. But you guys can see, just for length sake, it's about the same as the last one. But when you thicken up those hairs, it really gives you more of that kind of sultry effect. And you have to look at your eye shape and see if that's a lot, too much. So for me, again, it's nice for a photo shoot. You guys can see from the side, but if you're just going to like the grocery store or something like that, it's a bit extra. So it just depends what you're doing that day. These ones are kind of neat because you see how they accentuate little clumps in each kind of like grouping, and it makes it more textured and interesting to look at. So this is another option, and I'm just going to wiggle and show you guys this one. I took the other one off, and I'm just going to measure it a little bit and see. So you're just trying to like adhere it to the lash line. And you guys will see me do lots of lashes in the future, but you can see now what that does. It kind of like gives a little bit more of a wing. I don't have this one plastered down quite. A little bit more of a wing, and you can kind of get the gist of the little texturing, the blink, 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 little clumps that make it have a bit more focus. And I think that's super cool. and they can get pretty extravagant with the shapes, which is so interesting. These ones remind me a little bit of the Patrick Ta ones. Not Patrick Ta, Patrick Star. Yeah, Patrick Star ones. The tarantula ones that I did a while back that I laughed so hard at. So when you're carrying this much lash, like these ones here, they kind of look like tarantulas. These ones here have a heavier band because they're carrying so much more hair, right? So it's harder. So you guys can see the difference in lash. Like, where you going, Laura? Something else, right? Like, the variety is insane. So I'm also a big fan of these. These are your little clusters that I just love, and you can build them up along the lash line individually. I love those, and I use them a lot, especially on mature women. If they don't want lashes, they just give you that tiny bit of flush on the end. But there is one more kind I wanted to kind of bring up to you guys that I find really, really cool. So these guys here, I'm designing because I really believe in the cluster effect, because they're easy to maneuver and you don't feel them. If the band is not solid across your eye, you really, really, really don't feel them. And so basically with these clusters, they're multi-purpose, so you could use them. Again, you just want to put it kind of where, whoops, I don't have glue on there. I'm just sort of laying them. You just want it to show you sort of what happens. So you can put them in clusters, or you can also just make the ends your focus, and either you can do either, and it can just give you that little bit of a twinkle on the end of your eye. It's very similar to like a half lash idea, but I find this better because you can get more specific with the placement than the half lashes. And that just gives you the outer corner. You could do that and put a couple of the individual clusters like across, and just have that little I dream of Jeannie, like a few of these across. And that can be another look. So the possibilities are endless. You have to figure out on your eyes what looks good. Is it better to have longer and then go to gradual to shorter on the inside? Is it better to have them open-eyed for your particular eye shape? Is it better to have them soft and fluttery? Or is it better when they're stringier on you? You have to look at your eyes and kind of see what works with your eye shape and for that particular day or look or concept that you're going for, and play with the different shapes. There's so many different shapes. It's just like a world of its own. So I encourage you guys to dive in. I will have lashes available. I'm just working on narrowing which ones are the best and which ones seem to lay the best and work the best. So I'm excited to show you guys that. I also want to apologize for not being able to shoot quite as much, because I am like I'm working morning to night trying to prepare the website, trying to prepare everything for you guys. This makeup line is absolutely massive, and you know, the hundreds of products that are going to be coming. It's not just one eyeshadow palette or something like that. It's a complete line from soup to nuts, including skincare. So it is going to be, you know, a lot. It's going to take me a lot just to even show you the whole line. So that's coming very, very soon. And again, it's the last couple weeks where I'm taking mature models for the initial campaign of what I'm launching. We're going to be shooting a lot through the end of November and into the beginning of December, and hopefully launching everything on time. We'll see what happens. Okay, you guys, I hope this helped you with the whole lash thing. For taking them off, if you're using a good lash glue, it shouldn't be that difficult. Personally, if I don't over glue them, I can just lift them off gently like this. No fuss, no muss. Easy to take off, and if it's the right kind of lash glue for me, it doesn't get all bunched up in the lash line and doesn't peel and doesn't do all that kind of thing. And yes, I'm using ground lash to kind of grow my lashes out natural, but I very still often use lashes because I just find it gives you that extra glam, that extra punch. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I hope it's helped a little bit. And yeah, I think what I'm going to do when the makeup line comes out is I'm going to be offering a series of free consultations to do a bit of a makeup consultation online to help you decide maybe what eyelashes are the best or what products are the best once we launch, and see how that works out. I don't know, it's a new thing to try, but I might do some Zoom appointments where I can help some of you with your personal, kind of do a shoebox lesson with your personal needs on your own look, and trying to help you to develop the best you that we can possibly do as far as making you feel beautiful. All right, you guys, don't forget to like and subscribe the video. It means a whole big bunch. There's so many cool things coming, so stay tuned for that, and we'll see you guys soon. All right, bye for now.